What's up, guys? It's Black and back with some more RA content. I hope you all enjoyed the random deluge of videos that we had this past week. I didn't want to have 7 weeks of putting those videos out just to get into playoffs then, and so I just kind of made up for the lack of highlights that we had this season. But that's okay, because in the bottom left, in his brown rusty color, playing as the UK, it is Happy 3.0. That is right, we have Happy here, and also in the top, a new PC, it is going to be Faz, aka Fazzar, playing as France in his dark brown, almost purple color. We, of course, are on cow level. I think this is probably Happy's pick. He's picked it against me and a few other players. So this is going to decide if Happy takes first place with a 2-0 sweep here. He'll take first over Cav. If he does not, if these guys split, then they'll be 2 and 3. They will have an optional third game tiebreaker to decide who is 2 and 3. But realistically, that won't matter. What will matter is I will be playing Cav in the semifinals, and then Fazzar and Happy will play each other in the semifinals. So, a bunch of games to have between these two guys if they split here. It's like, we got Fazzar going engineer first, already caught his first rail Derek. Happy, same thing too. Don't expect anything too crazy out of this, especially on the cow level with this extra mine. It's just makes more sense to play safe. Happy, a little bit interesting, he is going for the gem mine first, which I mean, I guess is cool. I don't think it matters too much, honestly, in this map. You get a little bit more like density and money from ore than you do gems, and like opening up this gem mine isn't super important, especially because your harvesters love to jump off the gem mine as soon as they possibly can. So I think I'd prefer to do what Fazzar did in this map, but not a big deal at all. First little engagement going right here. It looks like Fazzar draws first blood, but Happy quickly returns it. But I think Fazzar's gonna barely be able to push through there. He's gonna have just 2-1, but Happy's got some reinforcements coming in, so he's gonna be able to secure that second oil derrick. Looks like Fazzar is just about a few seconds ahead on his own oil derrick. War Factor's coming out fairly nearly on par. Looks like I saw some medics coming out for Fazzar. I do know that he likes his early medics. He does tend to forego his early rockets for medics and extra rifles. It looks like he's building rockets this time, so it's always something you can keep in mind. Like an early vehicle push against Fazzar is usually pretty good, especially a heavy armored one, just because he doesn't have the rocket support. But I mean, he is going to have one rocket at least, so you know, a very bad APC what I guess would die. But yeah, he is a little bit vulnerable to that, but that's okay. Got his war factory out. Happy's got a war factory out. Interesting placement. Fazzar's is actually like really good for expanding here. Yeah, sure, his harvest is going to take a little bit longer, but you know, you're really not that starved for cash on a 2-war double ref build. Happy's on the other hand, he's more over here, and he's gonna have this ranger out, clean up these scouts from Fazzar, which is nice. So it's probably gonna be a little easier for Happy to expand this way, which is totally fine. And Fazzar, he's gonna be able to expand this way really quickly. I think there's a little bit more money on this patch than there is on these middle patches, but yeah, it's just a matter of placement, I guess. And Happy's placement is gonna make it a little bit easier to crawl to there, but Fazzar was able to do that anyway. So well, it looks like Happy a little bit slower on the... Oh no, Happy is a little bit faster on the SD, correction. But again, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. It mainly comes down to once like 20 seconds and 30 seconds for sure. Like that's when you start to worry, like, why is my builder so far behind? Especially when you're doing the exact thing. Just light vehicle first. Happy's got his 5th harvester coming out in just a second. Actually, where's that harvester going? Where are these harvesters going? That's a bad rally point. What the hell, Happy? You're better than this. But that's okay. Fazzar's got his 5th harvester out. His MCV is going to be coming out just shortly. He's pumping out infantry. Just very standard game so far. Do like that Happy is out here actively scouting with his ranger, trying to pick off these ref scouts. It's going to cause a response from Fazzar, and Happy's just going to be able to run away from that ranger. Ranger's his first ranger. It takes forever. He's actually going to get a rifle scout on the way out because he can. If he wants to, he could kind of stay and fight Red's rifle and maybe take that battle, but if Fazzar has paid attention, he could just snipe the rifle and then he'd still be at the advantage. But looks like Happy is going to move out to the right, which makes the most sense due to his war factory placement. His infantry is pretty far forward, but he's actually going to see Fazzar's infantry right there. So Fazzar's does not see Happy's infantry yet, so this could be very interesting. But this MCV is probably going to make an attack there into a very dangerous thing. But stranger things have happened. Pillbox is already out there, so that probably will shut down any sort of early attack. Just because you know that he already has defender's advantage. He's already got at least one pillbox, which means another pillbox is on the way. Just makes that much harder to attack into. first mini tanks into play, and it looks like Happy is going to try to base push Fazzar off this, so it's either going to go really well or really bad. This is the type of engagement that pretty much solves the game in 10 minutes, unless players kind of back off of that, but we'll have to see. Happy's pretty far back. He's going to have to build a Rax, probably another Rax, and maybe a power plant, just kind of get in range. If he has a turret ready, that could be really good, but again, Fazzar is going to be having his whole army there, and Fazzar is not going to have anything on his backside. Happy's going to expend his MC. I'm sure Fazzar's actually already ahead of him, so there is the turret. That is a really far back turret. It's actually barely even cutting off this ore right here. So if Happy does see the MC on the back, that's fine. Maybe use that ranger to do some sneaky little stealthy harv blocks would be really good, but on this money, on this map with this amount of money and starting, it's not going to matter. Ooh, Happy is going to try to split off a little attachment here, and Fazzar is just going to miss it. And I hear a bunch of crushing of something. Had it been right there, I guess the medium tank cutting through. Oh, Fazzar is retreating back, and Happy is just kind of content to kind of smother Fazzar here for a second. But I don't think any attempts to actually smother are going to work, unless Fazzar moves out without his tanks in the front. That could be really bad. This attack could be pretty good. It's pretty heavy on rockets, and if Fazzar pulls everything over, which it looks like he's doing, that could be really bad. If Happy catches one of that, which he might with this ranger, he's just going to miss it. But yeah, as soon as he sees all this, he might just go in here, and that could be really good. It looks like Happy instead, he's going to split multiple directions. Fazzar losing a tank, probably going to lose that harvester if he's not careful. And Happy's very deep on the flanks right now. This is very interesting. I'm not sure who's going to go strike first, but I think whoever strikes first is actually probably going to win. Just to the nature of this game. Little flank on here, about to hit. This little flank's going to get cleaned up. It looks like Fazzar is going to be the first to attack. Happy's going to have to retreat his army on the left side back. There's a lot of pillboxes to go through, and there's only one tank left, so this actually could be pretty bad. Harvester going down, gets away there. Oh, Fazzar keeps pushing, but his tanks are just in terrible position. So this is actually probably not going to be great. Depends on how much of these rockets survive. He does have some medics which are trying to do their best to deal up, but again, this tank has been a non-factor so far, and all that infantry is going down. Tank flank over here gets a harvester and the ref. Happy's little detachment there somehow makes it in the middle of the base, kill the ref and a power plant. Happy's going to lose an MCV here, but I don't think that matters anymore. He's got his expansions established. Losing the radar is going to suck for Fazzar. There's 3 medium tanks there, 4 pillboxes somehow. But yeah, I think Fazzar's just a little bit worse off. I guess just look at the armor graph. Armor graph's actually pretty even. Destroy loss pretty even actually too. Oh my god, there's so many pillboxes right there. That's crazy. Rocket's eventually going to clean it up. Now Happy's going to push in here. Again, more pillboxes, but I think Fazzar is going to be in a little bit of trouble. This army's not going to be enough, especially with the tank support there. And he's coming in at just the wrong time where some of that infantry was free to engage. Yeah, Happy's just kind of running around Fazzar right now. I think this is his game to lose for sure. Although Fazzar does have a huge army right there, but I think Happy should be fine. He's got this army right here. That's a lot of pressure to put on Fazzar. He doesn't have a main MCV. It's out right here, so if Happy goes deep, which he's probably going to, should be okay there. And yeah, he's got plenty of army to defend against this, even with the amount of tanks. A few of those are pretty wounded. Mini tanks are kind of squishy. Can easily go down. I don't think Fazzar can afford to lose too much eco. He doesn't have any mining right here. He's got some mining right there. We'll have to see. This harvester quickly goes down. Fazzar's going to try to reestablish. He could move this MCV back for support, but looks like he's just going to kind of string stuff in, unfortunately. Happy's going to take a pretty good engagement there. Fazzar's actually pushing in here too, but Happy should be more than enough there. Again, tanks were in the back. Ooh, I heard some good crushes there. That somehow did not crush any infantry. I don't know how that was possible, but Fazzar's just out of steam here. Happy has just enough left that he's going to keep pushing, although I guess a move command might change that. SD is going to go down. There's not enough there to protect it. And this attack over here got deflected. Fazzar's going to pull everything back to start to save here, but that's going to sack his expansion. Harvester going there on the left side. Right side is finally getting cleaned up. Just as this left side hits his main NCV, this MCV, and there's the GG. So pretty quick game. Just under 10 minutes. Happy was pretty much uncontested for the most part. Fazzar pushing here. I think it would have been better if his tank was actually in position, but those pillboxes literally just whittled away the entire army for pretty much free. And I mean, he lost what, 2 pillboxes and maybe a turret over there, so not the greatest showing. Maybe Fazzar is rusty. I've been there, I've done that. Sometimes that happens when you haven't played in a month, so we'll jump into game 2. Battle control initialized. Alright, we are back here for game 2. Looks like Happy is again UK in his brown color. Fazzar this time also the UK. Looks like he abandoned that. We're Happy happened to pick it. Did not catch last game if he picked UK or not. We of course are on Glittering Gully. I think this was one of the, if not the least played map this season. It's kind of a weird map. You got a lot of starting ore plus a gem mine, which means you got a huge starting eco. 2 oil derricks in the middle that you can kind of contest, 1 safe oil derrick in the back. That's kind of standard there. A very choky expansion right here. It's very hard to push through from like this little side right here. Just do the pathing. Your units will try to go around if you have any sort of decent sized army there. Your natural expansion also pretty well protected. You know, a ranger, if your rifle scouts right here, will cut it off. So the important, the middle is super important on this map, but like this area is also super important on this map. Like in the early game, attacking through this can be really good. But yeah, controlling the middle definitely gonna be a big thing here. And then tier 2 action, tier 3 action, a lot of already base push wars for late game if it gets there. We'll have to see. Looks like Fazzar gonna take first engagement here. Just Happy, just unfortunately moved at the wrong time. He's gonna have to move that engineer away. Happy is he's not gonna win that. He's just gonna slowly attrite forces if he just keeps running in there one by one. But he makes a smart decision, pulls away here. He's got an engineer in the front, which means he did not go for the safe over there in the back. But it looks like Fazzar did. It looks like Fazzar also went rifles first too, which again, pretty smart if you want to contest this middle. And I think he made the correct decision there. He's up 200 to 500 and destroyed lost there. Looks like Happy just set down his second ref, and Fazzar did the same thing. He is a little bit behind, probably just a little bit micro issue, but again, 6 seconds, not the huge deal. It's when you get to that 20 to 30 seconds, pretty much a whole MCV, that's when it matters. Happy scouting out from the middle here, gonna run into 2 of Fazzar's rifle scouts and goes down, so 300, 700, starting to look a little bit better there, but again, nothing too bad in the early game like that. If you lose your whole army for like half of their army in the early game, yeah, that sucks. Being down your first 18 rifles or whatever you built can be game changing. Losing your first rockets too, also a huge problem, especially if there was a light vehicle that did not get killed. But Happy's just gonna retreat to his main base. Looks like Fazzar is just content to save and protect this oil derrick, although no rockets coming out right now. So if Happy had gone for a light tank first instead of his ranger, probably would have had an opportunity to do for some crushes. The rockets are coming, but you know, you can shave off, you know, 4 or 5 of those rifles with good crush, and just a few more if you're really lucky, if you get like some cav level crushes. But Happy's just gonna poke in here with the ranger. Has to be careful not to lose it, because there is quite a lot of rifles there, and you can see it's instantly half health for basically 2 bursts of all that. And Happy's not gonna be able to protect this oil derrick at all. He retreated all the way back. It's really fine. You know, you're being down 1 oil derrick, not a big deal again, but it does suck to lose it. Meanwhile, looks like Happy's got his 3rd ref out. Fazzar just now got his 3rd ref out, so he's looks like he caught up just a little bit, about 4 seconds, 3 seconds behind now. And we'll have to see if players want to build an MCV first, or if they're just going to build SD medium tanks and then crawl and build this. Looks like Happy is going to capture that bridge, and Fazzar did the same thing. So Fazzar is totally set to just drop a ref here and go tank first if he really wants to. But it's also really important to gain ground in OpenRA. If you can, you know, establish here, or maybe here and then base push towards here to cut off this double expo, that could be really good. Kind of what Happy did last game on Cal level. He expanded to the right, and then moved up to the Fazzar's natural expo. Unfortunately, did not work out super well, but eventually he ended up winning the game. So if it works, it works, and if it works, it works. Yeah, if it works, it works, and if it works, it works. Fazzar, not a fan of those oil barrels in the middle, just gonna kill him. The oil pump says, you know what, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, keep pumping. Fazzar got some rifle scouts out. He's got a lot of them, but Happy's been pretty good last game and this game, just running this ranger around. Probably gonna pick off a few of these at the very minimum. Every time you pick off a rifle scout, it's like always a question of, is there an army coming from behind it or not? Looks like Happy is going to go expand to his single mine first, and Fazzar is doing the opposite. So again, we might have base war right here in the middle that kind of decides the game. Last game, not so much, but it definitely did make an impact. And again, looks like Happy is going to push across the door. MCVs do slow down on ore, so it is sucky to go across ore, especially if you have to run away. Keep that in mind for you. Fazzar already transferring a harvester over, although he has plenty of eco over here. And this harvester is long distance mining the gem. I'm not sure why. Very easily just place a ref there. Fazzar's pretty set up here in the middle. He's only got one tank out, and Happy's only got one tank out. Oh, there's a second one now. So a concave like this is really good, but the problem is with one tank, like, it can quickly snowball. If this tank doesn't die first, you know, that extra 2 seconds that Happy has armor can make all the difference there. But again, having such a wide concave like that will cut down on, like, the ability of one tank to cover. So with the pillbox there, however, Fazzar should not go in. I think he had the ranger there to see that Happy's armor there. Probably saw the pillbox too. Nope, he did not see the pillbox, so that could have been pretty bad if Fazzar decided to go in, but instead he just decides to move to the top. Oh, Happy might sacrifice the tank there. That's not going to be great, but he ends up pulling it back. And yeah, just kind of staging up in the middle. Happy has an expansion out. Fazzar has an expansion out, but he's going to do the same thing as Happy and push across there. I'm not sure if I like that. Ooh, Happy's got a little flank down here. Ranger is going to get away, so Happy is not going to get in there for free. Fazzar sends about appropriate response, a little bit more than you need to. And in fact, he actually cuts a little bit off. I think that's about the appropriate response to that size element, especially when you have the pillbox there, and that ref is actually in position of pillbox, which is great positioning of the MCV. 3 of Happy's rifle scouts found an MCV. Gonna take forever to kill that, but Happy has an undeployed MCV. I'm not sure what he's gonna do. Oh no, if he moves and loses this MCV, that could be pretty bad. That's gonna be pretty close. Happy is coming in rotating, but oh, that pillbox is instantly gonna go down. I don't think he even got one kill there. He might lose that MCV even now, but he is going to clean up a lot of Fazzar's army to do so. MCV does go down. Fazzar's army is starting to look pretty bad. The tanks are going to get in the front, and if you can trade out some more of those medium tanks of Happy's, so far the pressure's not so great either. And it's well, it's 3-3 in tanks, so I guess it wasn't too bad. Flank down here. I don't think it's going to get that ref. I think Fazzar has got just enough, and there's only 2 rockets left there. Yep, ref's going to stay. So not a whole lot gained there. Army value is pretty similar. Destroy loss looking a little bit worse for Happy. 18,000 to 14,000, pretty good. Turret gets dropped down there. That's kind of surprising. You don't really see a whole lot of turrets. Unfortunately, it's on the rifle too. If it killed that medium tank, that could be actually really good. I don't think the tank has enough DPS to kill an MCV, even if it slows down there. But Fazzar's going to rotate to the top, and this army's going to get kind of cut off. Although that ranger might just get picked off from an attack move. Another turret comes down. This time it's going to be on the medium tank, which is nice. But after that, it's kind of worn out its use. Might get a pillbox in time. Let's see. You know, Happy's trying to focus on the MCV. I don't think he's actually going to get it. Pillbox comes out a little bit too late, but no worse for wear there. And yeah, Fazzar's just kind of sitting in the middle. Should probably repair that ranger. He has that. I don't think Happy does. No, Happy has not gone for the gems at all, which is kind of crazy. I mean, he's not hurting for cash. Neither player really is, but you know, just having a gem mine right there is always going to be it's never going to be a problem if you have too much cash. Only problem if you're stalling. Basically, if you have too much cash, it just means you need a macro harder into army management. But I don't think Happy has enough here. He's not going to get into medium tanks, which is kind of the important thing. A lot of this army is just going to get whirled away. And the army value is starting to look pretty bad. It's double for Fazzar, which is never a good sign. Looks like Happy is once again going to try on the bottom. Might have better success this time since Fazzar is focused somewhere else. Tank flank in the back for Fazzar is pretty good. Happy probably not going to lose a tank flank. He's usually pretty good about that. But lose another medium tank here could be pretty bad. Yeah, tank count is going to be 3 to 9. And that's pretty bad. That's just so less armor that Happy has. He's gonna have to rely on pillboxes, and I'm not sure he has enough to do it. Does get at least 2 harvesters over here, I think, and he's gonna rotate that armor all the way across. Fazzar is definitely not focusing, which is pretty good. Little tank flank here from Happy is also gonna push off the harvesters, so that could be a way back in if he can defend from here. It's all going to come down to this. I just don't know if he has the assets to do it. Pillboxes are going to be ready in just a second, but again, 7 tanks versus 2 is a lot, and there's a lot of rocks there for Fazzar, so Happy's actually going to run his MC away, and that's probably the correct decision, but he's going to lose so much trying to do so. Actually, low power now, too. That's probably going to seal it. Although, Fazzar is going to do Happy a favor and kill the ref there, which will put him back into the high power, but yeah, Happy just does not have enough here. 1 tank, a few rockets, and that is so much for Fazzar. One more pillbox comes out. He's trying to target fire. Probably should have pulled the Harvesters if he really wanted to go on a crushing spree. Maybe that could get him back. But looks like Happy just calls the GG. And that'll be it. So they split 1-1. I'm not sure if they're going to play a third one. But I do know that their scheduled playoff game is going to be on December 7th. And I think Milkman wants to do like a stream of just RAGL playoffs. So it's going to be me and Cav, and then Happy and Fazzar. If we can all do it on December 7th, that'd be really cool. But we'll have to see later. I haven't really talked to Cav and when he wants to play yet, since it's technically still regular season. I think the playoffs start next week, but until then, I'll see y'all next time.